Damon's not wrong, guys. It is time to rejoice because the next gen giveaway is still going on. Now, before we get into this week's gaming news, if you didn't catch last week's episode or aren't following us on Twitch or Twitter for some odd reason, that's at Amazingnerdshow or Amazingnerdshow, then you missed our big team-up announcement with Digital Sky to get you an opportunity at winning either a PS5 or Xbox Series S. You know, those consoles that are sold out and almost impossible to get right now. We've got the simple solution to your next-gen needs. Simply subscribe to Digital Sky Podcast and the Amazing Nerd Show on your favorite podcast platform and follow both of us on Twitter, and boom, enter to win a PS5 or Xbox Series S. And if that wasn't enough for you, there's even more ways to win when you go to the links in our episode description. This is an incredible opportunity for my fellow gamers, and I'm happy to bring it to you. Okay, so now let's get into this week's gaming news. And one of the big topics that people have been talking about this week is Amazon's Luna. For those of you that don't know, Amazon announced that they're having a cloud gaming service called Luna coming out. They're going to be doing early access next month. It's the same thing as every other cloud gaming service. Play games anywhere on our service. That's their promise. The early access will be for $5.99 for the Amazon Plus or Luna Plus subscription. And it seems like they're going to be doing it kind of like cable style, where you add packages of different channels onto your thing. So there'll be for example, the one that they're showing off right now is the Ubisoft channel, where you'll get Ubisoft games on the Amazon Luna. Yeah, okay, I get it. Money for cloud gaming, but we still haven't seen a really successful cloud gaming service. And the most successful one so far, it seems, is xCloud, as reviews have been coming in and they've been looking vaguely positive for xCloud. And that being attached to Game Pass is, of course, like I've been saying, Game Pass is a great fucking deal. So and Game Pass has the most games available. Cloud services have been a mess. And while I was excited for Stadia, because I thought if anyone could handle it, fucking Google could, but Stadia showed it can't. Stadia right now has fans, of course, that have stuck with it for some odd reason, turning their backs because at this point their service hasn't even given all the promises that they've had. It's like a bad politician at this point. Anyway, back to Amazon. There's Amazon owns Twitch, so there'll be Twitch integration. They're trying to go for 4K at 60 frames per second. Most likely they'll be sticking to 1080p. That's what they're going to be having for the early access version of it. Price could change, of course, at any time. This is a starting thing for early access to pay $5.99. So I'm imagining it'll probably be $9.99 if I had to picture what Amazon would put as their main price. $5.99 is the one that they're toting right now, because mostly that's underneath what Stadia is providing for its users. Stadia is a broken service. One of the biggest parts of this so far has been that it might be fully available on iOS. Though, right now they have a plan to not have it on iOS App Store. Rather than they'll just use their own website and you download it from their website, which probably won't sit with Apple too well. So they'll probably want to be on the actual App Store to actually, be a functioning app that works with iOS. But that has a lot of iOS users talking, because their Apple's been in lock with Microsoft over being able to have any type of xCloud service on their service. It's not going to happen. Microsoft doesn't want to give you that. But I don't know. It's cloud services. I think we're still a good 3 to 5 years before we see a successful cloud service, actually, functioning up like that. Because, guess what? America still doesn't have the greatest internet. And, that could be said across the world. In rural areas, we don't have great infrastructure for internet. Even in big cities, in certain areas, there's still shitty internet. We don't have a free internet source. I feel like that's where it starts, right? You make a free internet source, and then everyone else, that starts the infrastructure, and then we build on top of that. That's not going to happen anytime soon. I mean, companies don't want to do it, and the country's not doing it. So, I mean, there's plenty of places where cloud gaming just won't work, and that makes it even less appealing. It's just a big mess. It's a big fucking mess that cloud gaming is, and they continue to try and make it work. I mean, hopefully, these companies like Amazon and Google will want to push forward an infrastructure that creates a place. Because, I mean, if they keep saying gaming's the future, why not make America gaming friendly? If that's that would be my campaign slogan. Make America gaming friendly. But I'm not personally jumping in. I do know that there are some listeners that are into xCloud and stuff like that, and do mobile gaming in general. And I can only imagine, like xCloud seems to be, the leading person in this, the leading service, I should say, in this. For our listeners that do mobile gaming, are you excited for xCloud? Is Game Pass something that you're going to be interested in using on your phone devices and stuff while you're on the go? Let me know in the comments and stuff like that. The other story I want to talk about is, it's a bit of a controversial one. There's opinions back and forth everywhere, but it's Cyberpunk's crunch. Now, we are getting into the last 6 weeks of game development for Cyberpunk. I mean, the game is coming out next month. They send it out to be certified and everything and be ready to be put on shelves. So they're trying to polish it up as much as possible, and they need as much time as they can. So they're squeezing employees to work a couple extra days and hours to make that happen. It's a pretty big industry thing to have crunch. I mean, Last of Us, Red Dead 2 had crunch. It's pretty normal. It's normal in multiple industries, but for some reason in gaming, it seems to come up the most that crunch is happening and how cruel it is. At the same time, look, I understand. You don't want to overdo your employees, and what happens here in the States often, where a lot of employees don't get paid, like animators and stuff. That's like animation studios I'm talking about. I'm not even talking about gaming studios. All across the different industries and entertainment that go through crunch, that don't pay the overtime, that don't give the workers what they deserve. It's horrible. One of the things about Polish law, luckily, is that they are required to pay overtime. Now, would the studio do that if they didn't have to? I don't know. I can't say for CD Projekt Red. I could only hope that they would want to do that. There was a lot of promises that they made, and a lot of, I wouldn't say promises, but a lot of statements that they made, like a year ago, where they were saying, we're going to try to avoid, crunch as much as possible. We won't need to do crunch with Cyberpunk. Well, now we're here and we're doing crunch. I mean, it seems like it's unavoidable for them because they want to put out the game in the best quality that they can. And I would like, I haven't heard any stories from the developers side yet. If they're super upset by this, if they're, all wanting to put in the extra work to get this done properly and stuff like that. I'm going to have to look into more stories on that end, because mostly I'm just seeing angry fans. People that are just like, no, you weren't supposed to be doing crunch. You made promises and stuff like that. Every industry goes through crunch. It's pretty fucking normal at this point. Even small companies and small groups and like independent filmmakers crunch. I mean, it's a pretty normal standard thing. Should there be, laws put into place everywhere where, crunch time is more managed, or, release dates can be pushed back, or, way better pay for crunch? Absolutely. I absolutely agree with that, but I don't think crunch is going anywhere anytime soon. And I'm not going to be mad at, CD Projekt Red for having to go through crunch. I mean, that's just, they want to put out the game next month. And they don't want to deal with any more backlash of pushing it back, I'm sure. I'm sure whatever bigwigs above CD Projekt Red are probably, putting some pressure down as well. But I mean, it is what it is, That's pretty much the big statement for this week with cloud gaming and CD Projekt Red's crunch time. We'll see the future of fucking cloud gaming, see if that goes anywhere. Well, I doubt it's anytime soon. I doubt we're anywhere near cloud gaming becoming, what it could possibly be. And with crunch is not going anywhere anytime soon. I can tell you that right now. We can only hope that, legislation will eventually be put in so that crunch is something that is like extremely overpaid for, which will cause companies to avoid it as much as possible, because as soon as they have to start paying people more, that's when they start caring about things like crunch and stuff like that. So that does it for this week in Christian's Corner. Make sure that you're following me on Twitch right now. It is fucking horror month, like we said throughout this show, so I'm playing horror games. Right this week I started Metro Exodus, which is a survival game which I've never played before, and I've been very interested, and I've gotten into that. I'll be playing that throughout the weekend. I'm also be playing other games, of course, like I'm still playing Ghost of Tsushima, I'm still playing Outer Worlds, and of course Star Wars Squadrons came out this week, and I'm super excited to hop into that game. If you don't have time to watch us on Twitch or on our Facebook page, make sure that you can head over to YouTube and you can catch all my edited replays of the gameplays that I do. I post like 2 to 3 videos a fucking day on YouTube, so you can definitely check out all of our playthroughs. I'm definitely trying to cut them down and make them a little bit shorter nowadays, just so that you guys can have an even more tight package out there of gameplay. So yeah, definitely check out our channel, check out our Twitch, make sure that you're following me at Amazing Nerd Live for all my info on live streams. All right, let's move on. Hey, this is Christian.
Hey, this is Damon.
And this is the Amazing Nerd Show.
New episodes and live streams weekly.